boys and girls, I'm Nana Rose. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that on a few occasions I've said, this is one of my favorite books, because I have a lot of favorite books. But yes, this one is one of my favorites. This is The Knight and the Dragon by Tomie dePaola. And I'll tell you at the end why it's one of my favorite books. The Knight and the Dragon, Story and Pictures by Tomie dePaola. The Knight and the Dragon, Story and Pictures by Tomie dePaola. There's a castle and a cave. Once upon a time, there was a knight in a castle who had never fought a dragon. And in a cave not too far away was a dragon who had never fought a knight. There's the dragon, and there's the knight. One day, the knight went to the castle library and took out all of the books he could find on dragon fighting. This one says, How to Fight Dragons. Meanwhile, back at the cave, the dragon had rummaged through the things from his ancestors and found some books on knight fighting. How to fight knights. The knight began to build some armor. It's a book called Armor Building. Now, he has a really thick oven mitt on because what he's holding is very hot. You can see some fire here, right? So what he's done is he has molten metal. Did you know that metal can be so hot that it melts? So here he's pouring the molten metal into a mold. So the mold is the shape that he wants it to be. And after it cools, he's taking a hammer and he's pounding it into whatever shape he wants. And there it is. He has made himself a suit of armor. The dragon practiced swishing his tail. The art of tail swishing. Carefully reading the book, swishing the tail one way, swishing the tail the other way, and he's happy. The art of tail swishing. Meanwhile, back at the castle, the knight is sharpening a sword, polishing a lance, and filing the pokey things on a mace. Here he's checking to make sure that his bow is nice and straight. And here he is painting a moon and stars on his shield. And there he is, all finished with all of his weapons. He has all the things he needs now to fight a dragon. Meanwhile, back at the castle, the dragon's looking in the mirror. He's trying to make his eyes look mean. And he's showing all of his teeth trying to look mean. Practicing making faces and growling. Wow, look how sweet he looks there. Look how mean he looks there. Everybody, give me a really sweet face. Now, make your eyebrows go down. Make your lips go in. Show your teeth. Oh, good mean face. Okay, smile again. So we can do the same thing, can't we? We can go from a happy face to a mean face. He was a nice dragon, he had to practice. All right, so in practicing, the knight has made a pretend dragon out of wood. And he has his lance, and he goes right towards the dragon, and oops, he missed. He stuck his lance in the tree by mistake. And here's the dragon. He made a pretend knight. And here he is breathing his fire, tries to breathe fire on the knight, and oops, he missed. He breathed his fire on the tree instead. Oops. Then the knight goes, hits the pretend dragon and breaks it apart. And then the dragon blows all of his hot fire on the pretend knights and burns them. Success. But meanwhile, up at the castle, do you see the librarian up there with all of her books? She's watching from way up top in the castle. Finally, the knight and the dragon were both ready. They sent each other a letter and set a time for the fight. To Sir Knight from B. Dragon Esquire. And there's the knight reading his letter from the dragon. To B. Dragon Esquire from Sir Knight. And there's the dragon reading his letter from the knight. And here they are. He's all suited up. See, he's got his lance and his sword and his suit of armor and his horse. And there's the dragon poking his head out of his cave. All ready for the fight. Okay, here they are. They're ready. They run toward each other. And they pass each other. And the knight ends up on the horse's behind. And the dragon ends up with his chin on the ground. They're not doing very well. They miss. And then they charge at each other. What do you think's going to happen? Do you think the dragon's going to burn Knight? Do you think the knight's going to send his lance through the dragon? What's going to happen? The dragon ends up in the pond and burns some little trees. He has a fish on his tail. And the knight ends up in a tree. His lance is broken. His shoe fell off. And his horse is looking at him like, how'd you get up there? And look who's showing up with her cart. The palace librarian with books. She's watched all their shenanigans, hasn't she? She hands the dragon the outdoor cookbook. She hands the knight how to build a barbecue. And they sit down. Well, the knight sits down on the dragon. And they read their books. And sure enough, together they open K and D Barbecue. K would be for night, D would be for dragon, barbecue. Here's all the customers. Hey, look at the lantern. It's a helmet. And look, he's carrying the hamburgers on shields. He's using his shields as platters. Hey, look at the hamburgers on the lances. The lances are being used as shish kebab sticks. Hey, look, here's another helmet. It's got barbecue sauce in it. And look how they're being cooked. The dragon's burning them with fire. And even the barbecue pit is part of the armor. And there's the leg pieces. Look at that. All the weapons are being used to feed everybody. And that's the story of The Knight and the Dragon by Tomie dePaola. Tomie dePaola is still alive. He lives in New England. And he has written some fabulous books. But I particularly like this one because we always think that knights are supposed to fight dragons. We always think that dragons are mean and that knights are brave. And, you know, in this one, neither one of them is very good at fighting. But when they put the weapons down and they use their weapons for something different, like platters and lamps and barbecue pits, they feed everybody. So whatever you do today, don't do anything hostile. Be nice to someone and have fun.